Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the season finale of our Monoposto Season 1 of our Fantasy Championship, in which we have two drivers equal on points and three drivers. Three drivers, technically four, I think. Yeah, three drivers, technically four drivers in chance of winning this World Championship. Charles Leclerc, George Russell, Kimi Antonelli, and yes, technically Lewis Hamilton can also win this championship. It's more a mathematical possibility for Lewis Hamilton, but not realistic. If you're wondering what I'm using here, I'm using Formula Game Companion to get all the scores. I've uploaded the scores for each race into it myself. Driver of the day, I just put him as Russell. I also put Kimi Antonelli here, and for some reason I put it as Liam Lawson. I just clicked random one for this one. Here's a detailed view of our last race. Nothing really interesting or exciting. It says penalty seconds 0.5. No, there is no, sorry. It was me being silly there. But into one race to go. Equal points between the top two in the standings. Sorry if you had to rotate your phone for that one, as we head into the final race in Saudi Arabia. It is qualifying session. Yes, the race will be a little bit longer for this one. Don't know how many laps, but we'll see soon. We're on board with Lewis Hamilton now as we wait to see if any cars are leaving the track. Yes, we've got Kimi Antonelli, one of our championship contenders. He is going out on the track. It is night time. Night time has fallen here in Saudi Arabia. But Alex Albon, he is the first to leave the pit lane as we go for turn 1, which unlike real life is a bit more sweeping in this game. It's a very fast circuit, this, as we know. Also a very long circuit, so let's see what they do today. Not gonna lie, I'm still trying to get used to the onboard cameras of these cars. Also, next season having the exact same grid and teams. It'll be season 3 of our championship. That might look a bit different. As we actually head to look at Charles Leclerc here. He is 7th gear. Can't see where he goes into through here. And back to Alex Albon. If you're wondering, I still haven't got around to the team logos. I tried doing them, but then they uploaded the wrong team logos to the wrong teams. I can't do it individually for each team, which is annoying. Alex Albon, he goes around the final corner. He's going to start his flying lap with Ollie Behrman behind him across the line to start the timer. It'll be the only lap. He better get this one right. This is going to be exciting. Ollie Behrman faster in Sector 1. Yet again, he is the only one of 3 drivers to do Sector 1. With Liam Lawson, the only driver still technically on his outlap. He better get a move on, as he is round the final corner now. We're still watching Alex Albon. He flies past us, heading up for now fast winding section into the next two proper corners, or kind of like chicanes. It's difficult to brake for these corners. It's still very fast though, as we head now down to the final corner of turn 27. Who's going to be on pole position for the final race of the season? Here's Alex Albon. He flies down into the final corner. What we're doing now, we're going to have to get ready to go watch all these other drivers. Alex Albon across the line now. He's put in a 1 minute 26. That is the benchmark to beat. Ollie Behrman does not beat it. We've now got next McLaren of... We're watching George Russell for some reason now. Championship leader crosses the line. Norris goes fastest. Russell goes even faster. Charles Leclerc, he is another one of these championship contenders. We watch him. Oscar Piastri, it goes fastest. Charles Leclerc, what can he do now? Charles Leclerc, he crosses the line to go on provisional pole. Can maybe Lewis Hamilton potentially be the one to take pole position off Charles Leclerc? The answer to that is no. What about Fernando Alonso? That was probably a long stretch to ask for that one. No, Nico Hulkenberg potentially. No, obviously not. And Liam Lawson, I doubt it'll be Liam Lawson to take pole position. Charles Leclerc on pole from Lewis Hamilton. I think that's the second weekend in a row. Liam Lawson, he sticks that in P22. There you go, folks. Charles Leclerc is on pole position for the final round of the season. Well, meanwhile, his closest championship rival, who is equal in points to him, is down in P4. We're not talking enough about Williams here. They go 7th and 8th. That's an amazing qualifying session for them. They're looking like they can score quite a few good points here this weekend, which will surely help them in the championship. And Max Verstappen, he's only down in P9 with his teammate in P12. That is not good for them. Here is our grids: Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Oscar Piastri, and George Russell, and Lando Norris, top 5. Remember, technically, Lewis Hamilton can also win this championship, I think. But it'd be a long shot for him to do it. Kimi Antonelli, he can also win it. He's also a bit further back than Lewis Hamilton. Look at a poor qualifying session for Liam Lawson. His teammate qualified in P13. Well, he was down 3 seconds slower than the car in front. I don't actually know what happened there. I don't think, technically I am Liam Lawson in this, but I don't think I caused that. Here is your starting grid, ladies and gentlemen, for the final race of the season. Charles Leclerc on pole position, Lewis Hamilton in 2nd place, Oscar Piastri in 3rd. We have George Russell in 4th, he's also championship favourite. Kimi Antonelli 6th, Carlos Sainz 7th, 8th is Alex Albon, great qualifying for Williams, 9th for Verstappen, 10th Nico Hulkenberg, 11th Ollie Behrman, 12th Isaac Hadjar, 13th Arvid Lindblad, 14th for Pierre Gasly in BMW, and 15th Gabriel Bortoleto, 16th Colapinto, Esteban Ocon in 17th, Fernando Alonso 18th, Pierce 19th, Sonny Hayes 20th, Lance Stroll 21st, and rounding off the grid, 3 seconds slower in the car in front, is Liam Lawson. Here we are, the final race of the season. It is a longer race than usual. The Ferraris lock out the front row, Charles Leclerc on the left, Lewis Hamilton on the right, says lights out, away they go, and Charles Leclerc seems like he is the one to continue to lead this race. We go, some drivers in hard tyres there. Charles Leclerc, we're on board with him now. For some reason, Lewis Hamilton can't. Why are we watching? What is this camera rank? What is this game doing? Lewis Hamilton on the inside now. Charles Leclerc, can Lewis Hamilton take the lead of the Grand Prix? What's the game doing? The camera angle. Lewis Hamilton, he's side by side with Charles Leclerc still. These two better not collide. That is for sure. These Ferraris are flying ahead as he still goes side by side with his teammate. This is absolutely epic. Down into the long hairpin, George Russell and Oscar Piastri are going side by side as well as we watch them. No, we don't watch the wall. They're also going side by side. George Russell takes 3rd place, which is crucial in the race. Kimi Antonelli still down in 6th place. Remember, Oscar Piastri is on mediums. Does he reckon mediums will get to the end? I reckon we will see pit stops this race. So, because of the fact that they're on soft, mediums and hards out there, we don't know what they can do. Liam Lawson, no, he seems to have found a bit more pace from qualifying. Of course, it was 3 seconds down in qualifying. He's a bit closer now. Don't know why he was so slow. There's no errors and penalties yet. They're all kind of all separating themselves a little bit. This could be a very intriguing final race of the season. Lewis Hamilton is about a second behind Charles Leclerc. Russell's about a second behind Lewis Hamilton. If Russell wants to win this championship, he will need to get a move on. If Lewis Hamilton wants to win this championship, he will need to start praying. The two McLarens are going side by side. Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri. Oscar Piastri on the mediums is falling backwards. 3rd place in qualifying. He's about to be down in 5th place in the race. Oscar Piastri has lost a place too. Lando Norris potentially still there on the inside, watching on board with the McLarens, the only team to have different liveries for each driver. Charles Leclerc gets the gap even further ahead. Norris is ahead of Oscar Piastri as Kimi Antonelli come off somewhere, because look how close Lewis Hamilton is here. This is unbelievable. My frame rate has dropped, unfortunately. Hamilton's just lost a bit on the straights here. I wonder if Yeah, I think Leclerc has mastered the straight line speed in that car on the setup of his mechanics. But through the corners, yeah, Lewis Hamilton catches up through the corners with downforce. But the straight line speed of that Ferrari, Charles Leclerc, is no match to the straight line speed of his teammate, Lewis Hamilton. That's 6 tenths lost in the straight. Yeah, it goes down to 4 tenths at one point in that lap. Look how he gains 7 tenths through the corners. It's 9 tenths. We head down to lap 3 now. I want to talk about Verstappen's poor start. He's all over Nico Hülkenberg here, but he just can't get past him. Nico Hülkenberg overtook Verstappen at the start of the race. I wish we saw that. I wish replays were a part of this game for us to see that. I imagine that'd be quite fun to watch. Kimi Antonelli's gotten past Oscar Piastri. Did we watch that? I don't think so. Carlos Sainz, though, he is next for Oscar Piastri, but he's also a medium, so I doubt we'll see him catch up to him. What do his numbers mean to tyres? I need to figure that out. As Alex Albon is behind Carlos Sainz, but he's kind of the cork in the bottle here. Technically, Carlos Sainz is the cork in the bottle. I'm not too sure, but Charles Leclerc, he is making that gap even bigger. Lawson has lost a whole load of time somewhere. He's a second behind, 2 seconds behind. He's so slow through the corners, it seems like. I'm watching him on the straights, time on the straights. He's also not much faster in the straights. If I was him, he'd be pulling up and retiring. Something's not right with that car. Oh, Charles Leclerc's in the pits. This is absolutely chaotic. Charles Leclerc, what tyre is he going for? Soft tyres. It's not just Charles. Soft tyres are hard. Lando Norris also comes into the pits. He's on to what tyres is he going on to? Kimi Antonelli, the other championship rival. He is onto the pits too. It seems like Norris is also going hard tyres. Kimi Antonelli has gone soft. Wasn't Kimi Antonelli already on soft? That is soft to soft strategy here to maybe bring Kimi Antonelli back in this race. As it stands, Russell will be the championship leader and championship winner by quite a margin. But remember, Charles Leclerc has pitted and he's only 16 seconds behind Hamilton, 17 seconds behind Hamilton. Well, 16 seconds behind Hamilton, 15 seconds behind Hamilton. And Hamilton is only a second ahead of Russell. Here goes Charles Leclerc on the inside of Stroll. Well, there's contact there. Contact between Lance Stroll and Charles Leclerc. And that makes this race extra thrilling. As on lap 4 out of 12, Charles Leclerc and Lance Stroll collide as Lance Stroll got some damage. I can't see any. So we watch Russell. Will Russell crawl or peel into the pit lane? See, Verstappen also pitted. Has. Oh, there's a number meaning the laps that they've been on. I think the number means the laps they've been on these tyres for. Arvid Lindblad, if in this case, Arvid Lindblad has pitted and is ahead of Max Verstappen. Here goes Russell and Hamilton into the pits. Who gets out first? Hamilton seemed a bit slow at the exit there. Russell also very slow at the exit there. Hamilton goes onto soft tyres again. He's doing a similar strategy to Kimi Antonelli, it looks like. I think Charles Leclerc is literally... there goes side by side. Charles Leclerc and Sonny Hayes. They're still going side by side. That was like a lot of side by side action there. Was there a bit of contact? I'll need to see. I don't think so. Charles Leclerc trying to get past Sonny Hayes and Gabriel Bortoleto, but they're holding him up big time. This is crucial because if it means Norris, Antonelli and Hamilton and Russell can catch up to them, it could blow this championship wide open. I don't think he is though, because he's got past him, but he's now arriving to see the Vespa knock-on. Effectively, no, he's not. He's still side by side Gabriel Bortoleto. No, he's ahead. Carlos Sainz, by the way, has got a 4-second gap to Pierre Gasly. It'd be amazing if to see top 3 finish at this, if they can somehow get in tyres to the end. They won't, but it would be amazing. Activator was unable to be watched. Lando Norris trying to get past Sonny Hayes too. Lando Norris, I think he's next second right now. Fighting for a podium here potentially. He gets past Gabriel Bortoleto as Lewis Hamilton is fighting Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli and Lewis Hamilton side by side. As they That is so close between them. Look at Lewis Hamilton now going Sonny Hayes. If he gets past Sonny Hayes, they are crucial of his battle with Kimi Antonelli. Kimi Antonelli, he's looking inside there, we can see him. They're not past him, they're past Borletto. Ocon's in the pits, Sainz in the pits. Leclerc is just behind Pierre Gasly. Norris is 2 seconds down the road from Antonelli. He's dropped down. Antonelli's really dropped down as Russell goes up to 5th place. Unless I was wrong the whole time. But I don't see Russell catching up to Lewis Hamilton. 5-second penalty for Colapinto for causing the collision. There might be a bit of contact between him and Fernando Alonso. Isaac Hadjar better watch out. This battle's getting feisty over here potentially. That is crucial for Colapinto. Isaac Hadjar seems by. This has been a very eventful few laps. Is Pierre Gasly going for the in-break report? I think Pierre Gasly is showing that everybody on hard tyres is trying to go for one-stop strategy. Everybody on softs are going for a two-stop strategy, definitely. At Lando Norris, he's caught up to Charles Leclerc and Pierre Gasly. If Lando Norris wants a chance to win this race, he needs to get past Pierre Gasly this second, and I mean this second. And does he do it? We're watching Pierre Gasly now. Yes, Lando Norris, he needs to be on the hunt now to maybe potentially win this race from McLaren. But can he do it, is the question. As Pierre Gasly is the last to pit, I think. He led a bit of this race, and he's not last to pit. Antonelli pits. So is Lindblad. They pit for softs. So they're pitting for a soft strategy. That's interesting. No, they pit for mediums. That's my bad. They're pitting for mediums. My mistake, guys. They pit for mediums, except Lindblad. No, I'm lost. It's Gasly who pits for softs. Antonelli pits for mediums. I'm assuming Lewis Hamilton's going to also have to pit for mediums here. Lando Norris, he's slowly caught up a little bit to Charles Leclerc. I wonder if Charles Leclerc's got a bit of tyre, wear a little bit and stuff. Oh, because of the fact he held up the whole time. George Russell's all over Lewis Hamilton. Lewis Hamilton's tyres have definitely worn up a little bit then. If George Russell, do not rule George Russell out of winning this championship. Do not rule George Russell out of winning this championship. He is definitely a championship contender. He cruises past Lewis Hamilton potentially here, side by side. This gap between Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc has gone to 2 seconds. George Russell and Lewis Hamilton side by side. Still, I think 2 attempts, yeah, he's ahead. Really, my frame rate dropped once again there. What the actual... Right, that is crucial for this championship. And I mean crucial. It looks like, though, it's still going to go Charles Leclerc's way. But we might see in these dying laps a battle, potentially, if Russell can get his move on. In comes the pits, is Ollie Behrman. Don't mind him, he just runs over his pit crew. Watch the cool pit animation as he seems to be like kind of let out by Sonny Hayes a little bit. Kimi Antonelli's flying on them mediums, mind you. And we actually watch as Lawson. Well, does he have to pit again? I'm actually kind of interested. If Lawson has to pit again, I imagine he will. How far back he is, because he's so slow this weekend. I want to see a championship showdown these final couple laps. I want to see George Russell potentially beat Charles Leclerc to the championship. I mean, yes, it's only been 4 races. I hope next season can be a bit longer. And I really do want to see a final lap 3 battles, but I think Norris is the one stopping them. He's kind of a roadblock for Russell, and I think the dirty air might be the reason he's not able to get past. Leclerc pits! This is breaking! This is absolutely crazy! Ocon's got a 5-second penalty for causing a collision. We see this battle back here. I can't believe select Ocon's got a 5-second penalty. Leclerc, he pits. This is absolutely incredible. If Norris and Russell can just try edge their soft, hard tyres a bit longer, Russell could win the championship. Leclerc exits the P12. Why did he pit? I swear them hard tyres can go longer. And can we look at Lewis Hamilton? He's getting soft tyres to go out length. Why the heck did Charles Leclerc pit? Is my question. This is absolutely incredible. In the final few laps of this race, the championship flips on its heels once again. I just suddenly, I paused the timer for the recording thing. George Russell, he takes the lead to Lando Norris. Why are we watching Lewis Hamilton? Lando Norris fighting back. I'm trying to get to the right camera angle for you guys. There we go. He's fighting back. I want to get to a trackside camera angle like this one here. This is unbelievable. Colpinto seems to have served his penalty. The safety car deployed. There's a safety car deployed. Leclerc's out! Leclerc's out! Leclerc is out! There's 4 drivers out! I can't see them! Leclerc, oh! This crazy carnage! This is an absolute monster crash! This game is horrible! I can't see the bloody crash! Because I can't select the drivers! We're watching Fernando Alonso, he's about to come up to the collision! We're watching Last Stroll, they're gone! Leclerc's out! We saw McLaren in the middle of the track there of Oscar Piastri. There's been a 4-car pile-up. I think that there's a 5-car pile-up. I think that there's Hulkenberg, why would you pit? Why would you pit? Why would you pit is a question. Because actually no, would you pit? Yeah, no, you would pit because there's such a big gap. Just in case this race does resume. Hulkenberg and Carlos, I'm thinking, why would they pit if they've got a chance of a podium here? But no, they've got such a big gap. Hulkenberg could get a podium. Nico Hulkenberg could get on the podium here. This race has literally flipped on its heels. We watched Esteban Ocon. I want to see how the 5-second penalties work in the pit stops in this game. Oh, he just goes. Must have missed it. This race literally flips on its head as we see the safety car now. I so wish we could see replays. I tried to my hardest to get to the crash, but I can't click the drivers. Charles Leclerc has got the fastest lap. I didn't realise you can see the fastest lap in this game up till now. As we are, Aston Martin are also looking like they can score really good points here. So is Apex GP. In fact, if we look at the top 10, it is Norris from McLaren. Second is Russell for Mercedes, 3rd is Hulkenberg for Audi, 4th is Sainz for Williams, 5th is Hayes for Apex, 6th is Alonso for Aston, 7th is Stroll for Aston, 8th is Pierce for Apex, 9th is Colpinto for BMW, and 10th is Albon for Alex Albon for Williams. I want to remind you, George Russell, I think is definitely the champion here because there's 4 championship contenders into this race. Charles Leclerc, George Russell equal in points. If I remember, Kimi Antonelli was roughly 15 points behind, and Lewis Hamilton was like 23 or something points behind, 22. And, well, Antonelli and Charles Leclerc are out of the race, and George Russell is currently up in 2nd place. This is lap cars can overtake according to race direction. I don't think they're actually using any lap cars. I'm trying to look through the field, see if I can see any lap cars potentially. I don't think there is. For some reason I just can't click Lawson. Despite the fact there's a safety car, Lawson is still so far behind, it's unbelievable. It's actually rather unacceptable how slow that car is. Cause I set the setup to zero on everything, because I assume that's the baseline setup everybody's on. Because of course I have to set up car up. I'll select a different driver for next season to make it fair. I'll select last place in the standings of this season. If the safety car doesn't go in now, if that, we will see a safety car finish. I'll remind you the drivers who are out here. It is Max Verstappen for Red Bull. He's out. Oscar Piastri for McLaren. He is out. Arvid Lindblad for Porsche, I want to say. He is out. Kimi Antonelli, a championship rival for Mercedes. He is out. Charles Leclerc, championship rival, Ferrari, he is out. Championship contender, sorry. Lewis Hamilton, other championship contender, sitting outside the points. George Russell, who as it stands, will win the championship in second. I think for Hamilton to win the championship, he will need to win this race. George Russell to finish outside the points. Basically, Hamilton will need literally. Oh, hang on. Safety car is ending. That is interesting. We are seeing one final lap here to decide the winner of this race. And keep in mind, Norris is on mediums, Russell's on softs. Why are we watching this camera angle though? I don't like this camera angle choice this game has. Safety car ending, going green flags now for the final lap of the race, of the season. Norris P1, Russell P2, Hulkenberg P3. Norris seems to get a gap at the front there as we are watching Hulkenberg attack George Russell. I'm starting to question if Russell's just hanging back on purpose. I think Russell might be hanging back on purpose just so he doesn't, risk anything. Just so he doesn't attack anybody. Alonso gets past Sonny Hayes. We're looking back at these two have got a gap in now. Lando Norris is flying. We are watching the midfield again, just skipping through everybody, see if we can see something. We were watching now Alex Albon on board with him. Lewis Hamilton has gone into the podium, top 10 ahead of Hadjar. Lando Norris, Russell's now kind of caught a little bit to Lando Norris. It definitely won't be enough, but we were watching this absolutely amazing work here from George Russell. Now Lando Norris become the 4th winner of this season and the 4th winner of this championship. Why are we watching this rear wing? Round the final corner now, Lando Norris will win the Grand Prix, but George Russell is the world champion of the first season. We now watch Alex Albon and Lance Stroll cross line side by side. Lance Stroll just beats Alex Albon to Lewis Hamilton gets 10th place. Nico Hulkenberg gets on the podium. Nico Hulkenberg's on the podium. Lando Norris wins it. George Russell in second place, but it's George Russell who wins the championship in an absolute style. Lando Norris is in top of the world for this race. He wins the race, which is incredible. But I gotta say, it's George Russell who is the world champion of this season. Absolutely stunning work. See the Union Jack flying high. Here is your results for the race. The top 10 are Lando Norris, George Russell, Nico Hulkenberg, Carlos Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Aston Martin, Sonny Hayes, Lance Stroll, Alex Albon, Apex GP. Hang on. Out of the top 10, 8 of the drivers, their teams were British teams. It's something we should be proud of. Sorry, that's not the top 10. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 teams, not 8 of the teams. We got Ferrari here, my bad, Ferrari. Lewis Hamilton in P10. It was, yeah. The bottom 12 are Isaac Hadjar, Pierre Gasly, Frank Colapinto, Gabriel Bortoleto, Esteban Ocon, Ollie Behrman, Liam Lawson, and then the 5 drivers to DNF, Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Aaron Lindblad, the 2 drivers to screw the championship over, Kimi Antonelli, Charles Leclerc. This is the championship standings. This is the championship standings after the final race of the season. George Russell wins it with 76 points. Charles Leclerc second with 58. Kimi Antonelli third with 43. 37 for Lando Norris, 37 for Lewis Hamilton, 30 for Charles Leclerc, 25 for Oscar Piastri, 25 for Max Verstappen, 22 for Isaac Hadjar, 15 for Nico Hulkenberg, whose only point scored this season was on a podium. That's incredible. And it's Fernando Alonso on 10, Hayes 8, Stroll 6, Esteban 5, Albon 4, Pierce 2, Bordello 1, 17 drivers who scored points this season. Then it's Lindblad, Lawson, Colapinto, Gasly, and Ollie Behrman scored 0 points. Your world champion, ladies and gentlemen, is George Russell. And the Constructors' Championship is Mercedes on top, and Ferrari in second, McLaren in third, Red Bull 4, 5th Williams, 6th Aston Martin, 7th Audi Sport, 8th Apex GP, 9th Haas, and the two teams not scoring any points, BMW and Porsche Martini Racing. Thank you guys so much for watching, I really mean it. Until next time, next season, which I think is the same teams and same drivers, and hopefully a longer season. Goodbye.